Welcome to Risk Watch. I'm Jonathan Ferguson. Could the change in administration to one that has pledged regulatory relief actually create headaches for financial institutions? It can if you are the one responsible for compliance at your bank or credit union. Here to explain why and how you can work to minimize those headaches is Mike Stottlemyer of AffirmX. Mike?
Thanks, Jonathan. If you're responsible for compliance at your financial institution, you can be sure that all your coworkers are well aware that the regulatory environment is changing. But what most won't appreciate as well as you do is that a shifting regulatory environment is not the same as an environment without regulations. Compliance officers often have a difficult enough time in creating and sustaining a culture of compliance, even during periods when regulations and regulatory scrutiny are on an upswing. But with the change in administration, compliance officers will have to be responsible for not only maintaining compliance that is undergoing change, but they will have to try to do it in a climate where there could be a tendency on the part of their colleagues to be too lax in their compliance vigilance. The thing with pendulums is they tend to swing back, sometimes in as little as 2 years, but evidence of compliance failures can last much longer. If there's anything that post-financial crisis fallout has taught us, it's that federal regulators have long memories. They're not afraid to reach back and hold financial institutions accountable for their compliance with regulations that were on the books at the time, regardless of what the climate was. So how can those with compliance responsibilities guard against compliance complacency in the shifting political climate? Here are 4 suggestions that I hope you'll find useful. First, make sure your board emphasizes to your financial institution that compliance remains a priority and that the institution will recalibrate its compliance program as changes come along. But also point out that the obligation to remain compliant to all existing policies and practices stays in place until otherwise directed. Second, remember that a sound compliance program is about managing the dynamics of a constantly shifting regulatory environment, whether it's moving up or down. That's because there's one thing that is certain in the regulatory space, and that's that compliance is constantly on the move. Those who tend to survive in the compliance game are those who have a program that proactively keeps tabs on what is actually happening. Expect this to be a season of many changes, but work to cut through the rumored changes to identify the actual changes. Third, be patient. Recognize that the initial tension may be focused on addressing changes that were in the works, but were not yet official. And while one party now holds both the legislative and executive branches, its majority is not so overwhelming that it has free rein. If pushed too far, the minority party is expected to dig in its heels and create gridlock. As such, changes are expected, but they may be more measured than some had hoped. And fourth, expect that some financial institutions may see this as an opportunity to press some limits when it comes to interacting with consumers. Be proactive in doing your part to position your financial institution as one that is financially strong while protecting consumers against the kinds of abuses that can subject our industry to radical shifts in the regulatory environment in the years to come.
Thanks, Mike. For more information on how the AffirmX Risk Intel Center platform can help your financial institution economically manage a changing regulatory environment, please visit riskinbox.com/resources. I'm Jonathan Ferguson for Risk Watch. Thanks for watching.